Hey guys, it's Tartan coming at you with another game of hardcore Minecraft. And today, we are striking out on an adventure. The pets of Eaton, good old Garuda, and noble Belladonna will wait here at home. It's time for me to strike out. And I could have gotten a chest boat, but we're just going to take a normal boat. So all we're going to do is go and search for a stony shore and then dig it up. So we're going to go this way, not for any particular reason, but just because. This is, of course, the beach where Ajax fell. He was a very brave dog. He did his namesake proud. And if we find, like, patches of gravel in some convenient spot, we could go ahead and get them. It may have been good for me to take the aquatic mining, because, like, right here we could get, like, a couple dozen. But it is preferable to get a whole big chunk of them, and the only way that I really know to do that, alright, so that we'll loop around there. The only way I really know to do that is to search for a stony shore where they have immense seams of gravel that can be accessed. So we're just gonna boat around until we find one. I've got my bed on me. I checked that too late, but I've got my bed on me. And we're just gonna go this way, because I don't think we've really gone this way too much. Over in this direction should be where the pillager tower is. And of course there's a village over there. Oh, the pillager tower is right there, yes. Pretty close indeed. But we're not going to be concerning ourselves with that. We're just going to go in this direction and see what we can see. There's a deep little magma ravine over in that direction. And careful, as always, to avoid those structures that look just like that there, because that is no friend of ours. That is an underwater monument. But this is just fine. Wait, am I breaking good sand? No. Mediocre sand is mediocre. We're going to get a couple of things. Nothing too special. There are other... See, I didn't even bring a door with me, but we should expect to find at least one more chest somewhere in here, so I'm just gonna... Yep, there we go. This one's not so good, but now we get another fishing rod. The axe will leave, and then there should be another chest, I figure. Yeah, we've still got a couple minutes, nothing to worry about. And not for the first time, I am very happy with underwater breathing, super helpful. And I think we're just gonna crack in through the top here and get a treasure map. We'll be able to tell probably pretty quickly if it is a unique treasure map or not. So that didn't take too long. There might have been a fourth structure, but those three led us there. And obviously, if we thought to bring a brush, we would have been able to get potentially even more. So real quick, just want to check out treasure map, and it doesn't look like we would have found this one before, so we're just going to keep going in this direction. And one really good thing, let's see here. Alright, I've got this totally backwards, and it's all the way over there, maybe? Alright, this has been me proving that I have only a very tenuous grasp of how Minecraft directions work. This should be leading us to the right area, I think. You know, I came into this with one very clear objective. I was going to go and mine gravel, and then this one map has exposed both my inability to keep promises and my inability to tell what directions are. Because where even is this thing supposed to start? I feel like I don't... Maybe I'm just like really far off of the mark, and I was thinking that it was close, and it's not the case. Maybe it's like all the way over here. I'm feeling hot, as though I cannot breathe. This is like what I call video game embarrassment, which is pretty silly, but it is a real thing that I experience. Just when I'm trying to do something that is very, very simple, and yet I seem unable to be able to achieve it. Unable to be able, but we're just going to run over in this direction and crash in the boat overnight, even though I totally don't need to be going over here. It's where I've ended up. And I suspect actually that it is, yeah, okay, so this is where we need to be going. And this is probably going to lead us to the same area that we've already dug up. Yep, this will be the underwater treasure right there. But that is okay, because we will have needed to stop for the night, and this is a good way to do it. So we're just going to crash here. And sometimes that is how the game is. Sometimes you get the map, and you realize only after you've already made it all the way there that you don't need it. There's probably some kind of way to be certain that you're not going to a place you've already gone by looking at the map, but if it exists, I do not know what it is. But I don't want to sound too mournful about it. Things are good. Everything is all right. And I think this bamboo jungle just gets split a couple of times and then is continuing over there. But I haven't gone over there yet, so I might as well. So over here is where I did my little first digging. And actually, no, is this a village? This is a village. So a village not too far from home. And we're seeing a fair amount of buildings, 5, 10, maybe 12 buildings there, so pretty cool. Be able to check that out, see if they've got anything good. But rather than just not grabbing gravel when I see it, I'm going to remember that the point of this is to get gravel, and I'm gonna stop just leaving it places. Because, well, I'm gonna be farming gravel for a while, right? So I might as well get with it. And really kind of silly to not go to those earlier deposits. What, on the grounds that it was only going to be 30 or 50 gravel? Like, you know, in no time that'll be enough, and I'll be able to return home with glory and aplomb, you know, and be able to live an average amount of my dreams. And of course, gravel floats just like real life, which makes it pretty convenient. We're just gonna grab everything and run right out. So how many gravels is that? A full stack. Yeah, we're not gonna be passing up gravel deposits anymore. Although of course we left a couple of gravel on the ground there. It's like eating rice, you know, you don't want to be wasteful, but when it comes down to it, you can spend a lot of effort getting the last few. And if you've got more rice, then maybe just leave a grain or two. I know that is a special kind of heresy to some people, but do what you have to. This is a plains, but we're going to find actually just a massive gravel deposit here. This is pretty much all that I had been looking for. Because this is a deposit, like, at least as big as what I expect the seams into Stony Shore are, but I haven't actually mined into them super deeply. And that means I have only an imaginary knowledge. I am regretting that I didn't bring my good mining helmet with me. I'm not too far from home. So I might just mine out a bunch of this gravel, go visit the village, and then, rather than going home with an entirely full inventory of gravel, go home with a moderately full inventory of gravel, which will hopefully be enough to get a moderate amount of flint and impress the villagers enough to open up their trades a little bit more. And then eventually I'm going to have to like either start building stuff or start going and fighting interesting stuff, because the acquiring of gear and all of that is, I don't want to say nearly done, but we are nearing the final stages. About half of our tools are diamond. All the armor is. And we have everything we need to get exceptional results out of our enchanting tables. We just need to get even more experience. So I guess we don't have everything we need, and I lied. And we're just causing an absolute wasteland. This is like the worst thing you can do to a current, is to just hack up all of the edges of it, but, you know, it's okay. We're not building a canal here. We're strip mining gravel. Not that that makes it good for the environment, but it at least makes it not across our purposes. If I destroy something, I don't want it to be an accident. That offends my sensibilities. So over in the distance there is another shipwreck. That one will likely generate a treasure map that we haven't gone to before, as probably will that little series of underwater ruins there. But we're just going to run to this town real quick, see what we can see, rather than getting too distracted by things out in the distance. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. And this village has considerable advantages over all the other ones that we've found so far. First of all, it appears to be built in a coherent manner. As of right now, there don't appear to be any significant environmental hazards. In fact, I would say the worst thing likely to happen to them is that someone is going to show up on their dock one day and relieve them of all of their stores of wheat that they have carelessly left. And this is sort of like the opposite of how to protect yourself from pirates. And I know you're thinking, I can hear you thinking it. Are you saying, as you're robbing them, that maybe they should have been more careful about where they left their food stores? Well, no. Yes. Yeah, I guess that's exactly what I'm saying, now that you've asked it. But while you may think that this is an opportunity for me to think about what I've done wrong, and to reflect on the way that my actions could be negatively affecting this villager community, I assure you that I instead will use this time to take the rest of their stuff. Because... oh no. while being funny, I have made a huge tiny mistake. I'm just going to fill that in before I fall in again. But unironically, I don't think that the villagers really use the wheat stores for much. I think they're there because they want me to use them, right? They understand that I'll... Okay, so if we have that hole in the wall, then all of the stuff that we have falling in will go there, which is not what we want. Gonna need to go here. All right, much better. So when I rob them, I'm doing it for their own good. Yeah, I guess that is what I'm saying. But even though I'm saying it, I just want them to know that I mean it too. Like, these villagers were doing fine before I showed up, but after I take all their stuff and replace it with basically nothing, they're gonna think, wow, what a nice dude. What a stand-up person. Sure, I'm glad he came to town and took the last 3 years of wheat storage. But again, like, it's so close to the salt water of the ocean, did they really think that this was a good place to leave wheat? What if somebody just came in on a boat one day? What if someone rowed up right to the side of their town on a boat, or anything boat-shaped, and then just started hitting it with an axe? Well, I mean, then they would lose all of it, wouldn't they? That'd be terrible. And one day they would just be left with only the memory. Just of an empty boat dock where the riches of their people once were. It's very sad. I'm glad nothing like that happened to them, but it could have. This guy's crashing for the night. We're gonna crash for the night too. Not to, you know... We're not gonna have breakfast with him in the morning or anything. Just to chill. And then as the morning dawns, I suppose we'll have to keep on traveling. I thought there'd be more gravel. There's just a little bit more gravel here. So I was thinking that I would have, you know, much more durability lost on the shovel than this, but I've gotten a couple of hundred gravel now, which would be a couple of hundred flint, which would just be a handful of trades. So it's really not quite good enough yet. And stuff like this sandstone and shovel and the sand, we're just going to throw there and hopefully not accidentally run back over. But the last thing I want to do is leave this village without making sure that we've taken everything they might have that's good. So they've got another cartography table here, which I could get, but they're simple enough to make. And he's got his little carpets. Very important to have carpet on the table. All right, so a ton more wheat. This is either like the most careless society ever, or they have discovered the secret of granaries, and this is just everything they have left over. I think it's just two separate villages jammed together, though, that met at like a border. And that's just because this is... Well, it's a fairly large amount of buildings. This is like 5 whole wheat stacks that we've gone through, which is, I mean, it's very nice. It's going to be enough for, I mean, a couple hundred bread whenever we return home. We're not going to take these people's beds or anything. We're going to take enough from them. And this is actually like this is so cool. I've never seen a row house like this. I want to look at it from a little higher up. Yeah, I've seen bigger houses, but this one is really nice. Yeah, they've got like a little dormitory style desk thing there. And then they've got... Yeah, you could make this into a much larger house. This is cool. I really like this build. Good job, video game. Your generated structure is pleasant. And yeah, so there's a bell there, and I think I saw a different bell somewhere else, but interesting little place. It's not the coolest buildings in the whole world, but it is rather a lot of them. So just a pleasant, sleepy little village. And really, I'm just going a seventh. Okay, so just a pretty shocking amount of wheat. Although we could basically get this just as fast from growing a wheat field and running up and down it. We would have to replant, and this is, this is the traditional method. We don't need that many more villagers, but it won't hurt anything to have a ton of wheat because it's more fun to farm other things. This guy's got a green coat. What's that mean? You want to sell something? Nope. I think he's just wearing a green coat. Maybe he's from a different town. Sometimes they wear slightly different clothes. Another little boring house here, and then we've got this one. Should be more interesting. It's slightly more complex, and it's got 2 doors, so just a toolsmith. I know, just a toolsmith. Very nice, very reputable profession, but one we've met before and not really one to inspire us. Well, that town was pretty good. It'd be a bummer if that was the first town you found. It would be fine on one consideration. I'm not going to do the thing. It would be okay because, just a ton of food. But there's nothing there that really wows you, There's not, the armor smith with the dummies that you can, get a suit of armor from immediately. There's nothing of that quality. But we've got a shipwreck followed by another shipwreck. So all we really need to do is make sure that we're not getting too close to something ugly like a guardian structure, a monument, and then we'll be okay. There's got to be something here. Yeah, there's a chest. You could tell by the weird way that the water was being that something was not quite normal. So there's suspicious sand right above it, which I don't want to break it, but I want the chest and I don't have a brush, so we're going to break it. And that gets us a treasure map. Which we'll try to get the treasure map before any other thing, so it's probably going to be protruding out of this area here. I say we're going to get it before anything else. Yeah, we're going to go get it before anything else. Because at the very least, we'll have to do some inventory management. And I feel much more comfortable doing inventory management whenever I'm on some nice dry land. But maybe it's all the way over here. Yes. Alright, so we're going to go over to this dry land. I think. We're going to go somewhere. It might be all the way over here, but whenever we figure out what's going on... Yeah, okay, so it'll be on this island. Good instincts. Well, I shouldn't go so far as to say that. Instincts that theoretically were functioning within normal parameters. But it's likely enough that our maps from the shipwrecks are going to lead us here, but it's not a certainty. So we might as well dig this up first. Alright, so, curiously, there's some water in the middle of this beach, which isn't unheard of, but isn't, incredibly common either. So we're just going to dig a little bit here, and hope to get to the chest pretty soon. And I'm thinking it should just be just a little bit ahead here. Obviously, I'm thinking that, or else I shouldn't be digging here. And there we go. A magnificent buried treasure find. We get a ton of iron. 1 diamond. Feels good. Not amazing, but still very nice. Cooked food, meh. TNT, definitely yes. We're going to throw in a ton of sand because we don't care. Heart of the Sea, we absolutely can't pass up. This treasure map, a clear candidate for leaving behind. Potions of water breathing, while cool, are not really that important to me anymore. I've got a couple of them. And, well, an unbreaking fishing rod is less important, so we might as well take 1. So a single diamond, pretty nice. Is there anything going on here in this jungle besides this buried treasure? Probably not. I would love to just like play on a tiny little island like this. Fish, spend all my time just hanging out there. It would be horribly boring for people and a lot of fun for me. But we're just looking around a little bit. I thought I might have seen, like a nice bird that wanted to be my friend or something like that. It's coming on nightfall. And the problem with my current situation is, well, my inventory is quite full, isn't it? And I left my boat somewhere. But the inventory situation is the big thing. Also, I left my boat somewhere. I'll simply make another boat using the magic of science, or I'll run around until I find it. Probably on this side. I'm confident that if I just talk to myself about finding it for a while, I will find it. Not incredibly confident. Reasonably confident. Hey, the boat. I knew if I believed an average amount, I might come across it. Good deal. I didn't bring any torches with me. That's not perfect behavior. I don't really want to drop any of this junk. I could drop the apples. We're just going to lay down for the night. Pretty sure that I'll be okay. Alright, so the choice that we can make is to just go home right now. That's a bad one, though. We want to at least go into these shipwrecks, but if we go into the shipwrecks, we don't want to be leaving our boat behind. Yeah, so I need to just throw one thing down, make a chest, and then craft. With the chest, we'll craft a crafting table first. Then a chest, and then we can just pick up a boat, and the chest, you can make that anywhere. We grabbed our emeralds, all we gotta do, we'll leave that there. And now we'll just throw all of this junk in here. This junk, diamonds and gold. All of the most valuable treasures of my people. But now, it's just time to hit these shipwrecks and then we're going to run home. The idea was to have an entirely full set of gravel, but I think we'll just pick up some gravel as we go and do this instead. A couple hundred gravel, that'll probably get us the level up, and if not, then we can do it again. I just don't want to do just so much gravel and then regret it later. Alright, so moss blocks and TNT, bit of a weird one. 4 books, fine. A little bit of paper, a little bit of feathers. Buried treasure map. We're just going to check it real quick to see if it's the one we were at before. Looks like it definitely is the same spot. No biggie. There'll be one more treasure chest. It'll be inside this area probably. Yep, here we go. Here's the good one. We're just going to break it. No, that's bad. Every time I break it, I lose 1 or 2. So, a bunch of iron, couple emeralds, good to go. Now I just need to reorient myself, which is towards this shipwreck, and we're going to make a good little run of it. I'm so much faster at searching shipwrecks, depending on how they're built. When they're turned over sideways or in pieces, it's a little trickier for me, but when they're complete, I mean, you can't brag too much about figuring it out. There's a pretty regular configuration where the chests are, but I've now gotten just enough exposure to where I feel like I find that. But yeah, I want to say it's definitely the same beach. And it is... I mean, there's no way there's 2 right there, right? Because I don't remember seeing the blue of the water on mine. Yeah, no, it's the exact same spot. I just think this one is scaled very slightly differently because this would lead us... Yes, clearly right there. What a waste of time. Actually, it wasn't that bad. I think, you know, my speed in digging it up in the first place will counteract how much of a waste it was to go back as if I was going to find a different one. I knew I wasn't, but I could dream. Because 1 diamond's pretty good, but 2 diamonds is enough for a sword. 3 is a pickaxe, which I don't have access to at the moment, but that or a sword would be fine. I can buy a diamond axe from the vendor now. And we've still got several minutes to nightfall, and we're just gonna raid this ship real quick. Shouldn't take too long. One chest. Just gonna look at the map really quick. Come on now. Same one as before. We're gonna throw it back into the chest. That way, if someone else ever comes in, they can be sad because I already got everything. This one, prop 4 on leather boots. That's actually pretty funny. I'm just gonna crack this chest and pick up everything in it, rather than worry about some other thing. Get a little bit of breath and then go in through this door, and this should be the last chest, the one with the good stuff in it. Oh yeah, not too good, not nearly as good as some of other ones are, but hey, you cannot shake too many sticks at free iron. Even if you get a treasure map that leads to nothing, a little bit of free iron, a little bit of free bottle of enchanting, which is just a nice experience, raw boost. And what we'll do is continue filling up Alright, there we go. Poisonous potatoes, totally useless. At least I think they are. And what we want to do now is just try to head towards home, which is vaguely in this direction. And if we see any more gravel, then we'll mine it. And if we see any more shipwrecks, then we'll go inside. But the idea is just to go home. So this is that weird little island that we always look at from across the way. And that means we know there'll be a monument over in that direction, because skirting the coastline in that direction is what's going to lead us right back to home. And this is the place we would have looked in the direction of before. And I thought they were pumpkins. It looks like they definitely are pumpkins. That's pretty nice. We'll leave them there. They're pretty. And there's the monument that we want to be wary of. We're just going to take this route around it. Look at this pretty little island here, which is like a bamboo jungle abutted onto a little fragment of a dark forest. Birds! We will see if we can induce them to be our friends. Hello, fellows. Would you like some seeds? Yes. Would you also like some seeds? Hooray! We now have got 2 more birds. Come with us, fellows. Let us fly. Hopefully they will teleport. If not, then I have made a huge, terrible mistake, and I hope they will one day forgive me. But this tower should be sort of... Yeah, that'll be the scout tower for the ocean. So if we head just in this direction, we'll run right into the road home. I know how to say road and route. I was somewhat torn between them and also trying not to burp, so the word came out slightly clumsy, or very clumsy, depending on how much attention you were paying. We've got about 2 minutes for the sunset. And we'll just go 500 in this direction. So I think, yeah, we just cut through right here. And then hang a left, and that leads us home, I think. And if not, then we will we'll delay it a little bit. Because this might be the way out. There's still this portal. You know. Okay, first of all, this is careless. Second of all, it should be okay, but I don't need to leave my boat too far away from what I'm doing here. Some of this stuff's real good. Some of it I don't care about at all. And we're just going to leave it in there. So if I get diamond, I can, mine obsidian and then go to the nether, but that's the only thing that I can't do with iron, I think. I turn left here and make my way in. No, that is the opposite of what would happen. So I can try to skirt around the edge of all the biomes here on the left, but I think we'll just... Yeah, so the sun's going down, and that means potential danger. F3 tells us that we're, yeah, so I just need to be at negative 2k and then like 1,000 the other one. So I needed to turn right here rather than head over in this direction. And rather than go to sleep, we're just going to, we're going to try to go home. Is it down this river? Well, it's about to get fun. Yeah, no, it's got to be. We'll just go left here, and then it'll be right up at the village, kinda. Or at our house. Like, one of these lagoons is absolutely going to be the right place, right? It's got to be this one. Yeah, we're headed home. Any minute now, we're going to see the familiar traumatic beaches of the past. This might just be, like, the opposite route around it. I don't love the sounds of, the sounds of the dark there, but it'll be okay. I'm lost. That skeleton will probably want some blood. I'm so lost. I really thought... Okay, so... maybe we'll go down this route. These skeletons will definitely want to take a shot, but we'll just skirt the edge on this river. That pillar might be the panda pillar. In any case, it's certainly a pillar, and that means one of comfortable guidance. That other river must have just been like the other side of the jungle. And this is the good one, right? Right? Either that or I'm totally lost, and I'm now on the segment of the jungle that I thought I was before. Which is definitely possible. Perhaps more than possible. Sorry, I needed a drink of water. That would get cut in post-production if there was any such thing. There is not. Alright, so I thought like negative 2k and 1k was where everything was going to be at. But maybe I'm just turning in a bad spot. Looks like there was some drowned behind me there. Really don't care. The only things I'm worried about are... Alright, there we go. Now I know exactly where we are. Here's the shipwreck. Yeah, I was turning all the right directions, but I was starting from the wrong place quite clearly, so... Given that I haven't done a lot of exploring down those particular rivers into the heart of darkness of the jungle, didn't really know where I was going to. Of course, I could have just... Yeah, so right here, if I'd been able to identify that this was where it was, could have just left. Or obviously could have skirted a whole different direction. But it's fine. It's okay. It provided with, you know, a good opportunity to feel really tense. There's some weird skeletons on that center island, but I'm not going to engage with that. I'm just trying to get home. It's a pretty dark night. Not much of a moon at all to speak of. In fact, I think there's not one. Sort of adds to the eerie nature of it all, but nothing's too eerie, for after all, we're now returning home. To my haphazard... Alright. That zombie is just taunting us. That zombie... I think that zombie was the one that killed Ajax. They're gonna blow up the boat. They're gonna blow up the boat. All of my stuff is now blown up. Pretty annoying. Wow. Alright, so pretty funny. But not as funny as our revenge. Alright. Great success. Now what we're going to want to do here is just lay down on the beach. Yeah, lay down on the beach. The point of doing that is to demonstrate both that we're not afraid and so that we can get back to our boat. When that creeper explosion popped, did it destroy all those items? Maybe they went away when I went to sleep. Well, it looks like we lost a diamond. It looks like we lost everything. Well, maybe I shouldn't have gone to bed. I thought it would be a good way to get rid of the monsters and not have to worry about what's going on here, but pretty sure whenever I put this jungle boat with chest back down, yeah, all the stuff from there is gone, so... Oh, man, that is... That's that. I mean, it's not the worst that could have happened. We lost 1 diamond, a huge chunk of iron, all the gravel and that we were going to get in the first place. And, but on the upside, we've avenged Ajax. And losing some of our stuff in the face of that is just fine with me. The trident hit into the boat with the chest and then a creeper explosion. And then I laid down in front of it and lost it all. But that's alright. It's okay. I'm not just pretending that it's okay. I think it even is. But after all of that, we come home, you know, with the clothes on our backs, and that's not too bad, because we've also achieved vengeance. You can't put a price tag on vengeance, but if you could, I'd be willing to pay it. Ajax deserved our steadfast prosecution of his enemies, and he got it. I guess I can throw the bottle of enchanting here. So you throw it at the ground, and then it just drops some experience, not like a ton. And that's how those work. It's so funny. Not really, but it's sort of like being funny to me that after all of that, I return home with basically exactly what I had before. But, you know, I am playing hardcore. And I've died before. and nothing here is that bad. So I think I'm gonna run to town, feed some of these chickens, and then, well, we're gonna do what we try to do in this video, only I'm gonna trust much less in boats with chests. Apparently, our enemies could just blow them up. I could have just come home, but I wanted to slake a little bit of bloodlust, paid the price, as often is the case. Let that be a lesson to you. If you see a zombie, even if they've wronged you, sometimes the right thing to do is walk away and kill that zombie later. For only by returning home can you look at the happy faces of all of these chickens who are totally unaware of anything negative that could ever happen in the future. In fact, all they remember is how beautiful the day they were born was when they were thrown against a wall, the torch blinding them from above. You know, it's a hard knock life, but it's not a bad one. Not a bad one. And before long, we're going to actually be needing a lot of seeds because this production of chickens is going to ramp up quite considerably. And that one got out, and rather than try to put them back up, I decided to make them pay the penalty. But we'll probably just end this one. Man, it's gotten long. I was wondering why I felt like my mouth was very dry, but it's because I've been speaking for about almost an hour, 50 minutes. But we're just going to farm some melons. Farm some pumpkins, the traditional methods, and then in our next video we'll return and try to make our way to a stony shore again, and try to return home with gravel again. We know there's another village, but the thing about villages is once you have one, it's almost like you might as well just expand it and enhance it forever, unless you just want one in a whole different place with a different aesthetic. Because once you once you have a couple of villagers, you've got golems, and then they're secure. They grow up faster whenever you're around, but not whenever you're not. So if you want any of the benefits of a village, one pretty large village is better than several smaller ones, in my opinion. Although, of course, when you first discover them, it's always nice to relieve them all of all of the wheat and wheat accessories that they might have. Can't wait for the day that I'm doing this with the diamond axe. Just churning right through them. And then I don't even really need the emeralds anymore. That'll be the day. The sun will go down and I'll still just be chopping up all the melons, chopping up the pumpkins. Because really, this is for the love of the game. Sure, I need to use these items to engage in commerce. But really, I just like the sparkly sound. So this toolsmith, yeah, the axe and the sword, same amount. I don't really need a better axe, although perhaps I do. No, we're going to stick to the original plan. We're just going to try to sell a bunch of flint for emeralds to level up rather than wasting our emeralds on these. And 2 shovels should be plenty. And I shouldn't need a diamond axe just yet, so we'll try to restrain ourselves. But when we return, it's gonna be more of the same, only without all of the failures. We're gonna probably make a boat because I left my boat somewhere, and then we're gonna go to the first place we see gravel, and then dig it up. And then we're gonna go to the second place that we see gravel, and well, you know what comes next. And oh right, all of that wheat that would have been in the boat too. Man, I don't like creepers. No, I sure don't. That's like a huge bummer, but whatever. We'll deal with all of that in the future, but I said I was going to end the video. Clearly I lied. We are going to run home because the sun's going down, so we might as well end it by laying in the bed with our pets, saying goodnight to them, and then in the morning we can jump down and do this nonsense. It's like, it's gonna sound stupid. I feel like the creepers are cheating by blowing up my stuff, even though it's literally like the thing they do. It's like, I feel like it's unfair because they should know how childish and upset I get whenever that happens, and that's why they shouldn't do it to me. But we're just gonna lay down for the night, and Belladonna appreciates the sadness that I feel. But at least we can look out at the cherry trees. Another day where we're still alive. I should build like a little box out here for enchanting junk and lapis and such. But I don't have... enough wood on me to do it. Do I have wood laying around somewhere? These are questions. I really should know the answer to them, and I don't. Looks like I don't. It looks like I have used up all of the wood that I have. Okay, here's the chest. I don't need wood then, because we've got the thing that we would use it for. And what do we want to try to enchant? We could, yeah, we can take this helmet and burn off the aqua affinity, because we can just buy another one with it on it from the armor smith. I'm like, wait, no, it's right here. And now we will attempt to see what we get. It's going to put aqua affinity back on it. Great. Apparently it really wants aqua affinity to be on there, so we're just going to try it, and we get Prot 3 and aqua affinity, which is legitimately quite nice. And that will probably be worth sinking all my levels into. Yeah. We'll still need unbreaking and then like one more level of protection, but that'll be good. That'll be solid. Now we've got protection on all of them, so 3, 6, 9, 13 levels of protection out of a possible 16. And then our good water movement, our good breathing, and our good water mining. So definitely got a good setup for the next thing that we want to do, which is farm a bunch of gravel. But before then, I do need to take a little bit of a rest. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Really hope you've enjoyed. Probably said that in this video already. It all runs together. But this time, as you can tell by the runtime, it really is about to be over.